What is going on YouTube? Hit back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. More importantly, we're going to be focusing on Solana's recent break above its major bull flag formation here, above some major resistances, which could be a hint at a potential break in the very near future. Now, we were hesitant towards buying in on this. We did see the markets correct quite a bit, or Solana in specific correct quite a bit below its support level that was kind of a bit scary if you ask me. We've been tracking this beautiful uptrend literally since we could probably scale it back to October of 2023. But if we go from November, you can see how it's formed an uptrend here quite nicely. And as prices were using this as a means of support, we've been filling in this gap here. And it came to a point where a decision had to be made. We broke out, which was beautiful. And you can see we were using it as a means of support, which unfortunately broke us downwards back to the price floor. And you can see we actually rebounded quite nicely, caused a reversal doji, and are now heading up even higher. The thing that we need to pay most attention to is the fact that we're now retesting major resistance on this uptrend here. I wanted to buy in yesterday, but I was a bit skeptical, or last night, with the way the price was retesting and trending on this major price ceiling. At one point, this was a massive, and I mean a massive support for Solana, and now it's acting as a bit of resistance. So we're going to try to figure out when that next opportunity to buy in on these cryptocurrencies are. Specifically, Solana. We'll also be looking at XRP, as well as Ethereum, Bitcoin, and like I said, the S&P 500. But more importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Burn Token from the Burn Metaverse. It is a golden key of the metaverse, as you guys can see. Very cool website. More information will be later on in today's video. But as you can see, the cutting edge cryptocurrency backed by the gaming industry in GameFi, offering a seamless blend of value and versatility. Unlock the power of digital assets as you trade and engage in an immersive gaming experience, revolutionizing the way you interact with virtual economies. 29 million total supply, 228 million max supply here. Lots of information about their Burn token, which we need to talk about as it's doing quite well, especially in today's market, which is pretty crazy to say, but I'll explain more about that later on. And with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. Let's dive right into today's episode. So guys, really briefly, you can see we made a video last night, looking at the fact that we're just now starting to see XRP and Solana, potentially mainly Solana, start to break through that price ceiling. That's what we were talking about here, how we were in some sort of bull flag formation, retesting a massive resistance right here. And we were praying and hoping that we would break through it conservatively here, and eventually we'd pop off and start to climb the markets higher. And we kind of saw that, not really. I'll explain more in a second. As you guys can see, though, everything in the market overall looks incredibly well ready for a breakout to happen. Like, we look absolutely nuts. The fact of the matter is we've been consolidating for many days now, flatlined out. We've lowered ourselves so beautifully on the fear and greed index down to 55 on the RSI, 55 on the fear and greed is pretty much setting us up for potential to scale higher. And that's what we're hoping to see happen in the near future here. You can also see a lot of these cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. Lots of them are pretty much floating sideways. Yes, Bitcoin is up only 2.5% for the week, but you can see a lot of them are still pretty stagnant. It's no bull run. It's no breakout just yet. It's a lot of this consolidative movements here. Now, I want to talk about XRP really quickly with you, and then, or we'll do a little bit, and then we'll dive into the Burn Metaverse real quick, and we'll jump back into XRP. But really what we need to focus on XRP is the fact that we are still filling in this beautiful, elongated bull flag formation as well. This one's much bigger, tracking it for quite a long time. You can see this one has started pretty much back in October of 2023 as well. We've been pretty much just in this downtrend for God knows how long. It has been quite a while, filling in the gap slowly but surely. The unfortunate part is we broke through moving average here. It's good and it's bad. We don't really trend below here, or recently we haven't been trending below here for that long. Last time we really saw that big drop was back in April of 2022, but since then we've been climbing up, and you can see for the most part we've kind of been steadily scaling higher and higher and higher, slowly but surely. You can see kind of in this higher low pattern. So even though you can see that the market within XRP has dropped, you can see the patterns that I'm starting to draw out kind of show you that each time we fall lower, it's higher than the last, which in the grand scheme of things, in the long term, is definitely a very good sign. But before I continue any further within XRP, I want to talk to you a little bit more about Burn Token. I want to give a huge shout out to Burn Metaverse for partnering with me on today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, I need to fill you in on the Burn token project and their ecosystem. In summary, they are a Web3 AI-based game within the metaverse. And more recently, they're building a pre-sale platform in Web3, a staking platform, and also the meta universe. This year, they plan on developing an application that competes with Telegram using Web3 technology. Not only that, with artificial intelligence, they will build wearable technology and make the metaverse universe a place from the real world. Also within GameFi, they are building the most detailed and permanent MMO game ever produced. Players will get a chance to win awards from many fields within the game. Not only that, these rewards are paid not with their own cryptocurrency like rival projects, but with USDT. In this way, while the game provides a lot of benefits to BRN, Burn, their native token, it will eliminate harm. Now let's use the AXS game as an example, which gave SLP. Unfortunately, SLP, their utility token, lost a lot of value, and they wanted to prevent this and ensure that the game supports Burn. So all in all, why is all of this important? Well, they are burning 90%, which is 229 million within 3 months, and reducing their supply to 30 million. Now, the current circulating supply is only 22 million, but when the supply drops to 30 million, they will become the 9th project with the lowest supply among cryptocurrencies, and they will become the project with the lowest supply in GameFi and even Web3. You see, projects with a 30 million supply generally start their price token at $20 to $30, which is important because Burn is only 50 cents right now. And besides the supply reduction, news will be released soon about their closed beta of their GameFi game, which will be opened within 2 months from today. Now, their big cinematic teaser will also be announced in 2 months, and that means that if all goes well with the influx of hype and news on top of their supply reduction, they could reach their goal and actually pump the price of their token. This means if you time it right, you could also make a decent chunk of change. Their current price of 50 cents potentially going to $20 or $30 would be absolutely nuts and a huge profit nonetheless. So guys, make sure to check out Burn Metaverse ASAP and pick up some of their tokens if you want to take the risk. It's currently available on MEXC, Gate.io, Bitmart, and even XT exchanges. Now with that being said, make sure to join the Burn community and make sure to check out their socials down in the description below. Otherwise, huge shout out to Burn for sponsoring today's episode, and let's get back into the technical analysis. So diving back into the technicals, you can see here on XRP that we're still filling this out here, and pretty much we're going to be hitting a bottom at some point. Overall, we do look good. We've managed to scale ourselves from 63 on the RSI, and anytime we go lower, I consider it a good thing. We're now down to 44 on the relative strength indicator on the weekly chart, which opens up plenty of opportunity to scale higher, and the goal is that we actually do. We haven't done it just yet, but the goal is that we actually do decide to scale upwards here, specifically in the near future, especially within XRPs. You can see on the daily charts here, we're also hitting overbought, rebound, or oversold. We're rebounding right here. We've now managed to scale ourselves, and you could see clearly a downtrend that we could probably even scale even higher. You could see if we draw a downtrend from this point right here, if it lets me straight down, it's pretty nuts, but you could see how the price has been using this as a means of resistance consistently. I mean, check it out. It's beautifully drawn here. You can just see us scaling lower and lower and lower, creating this lower high movement here. Since the start back in November, we've just been creating these kind of dips and rivets, continuously filling this in, and at some point we are going to be squeezing the bottom here, and a decision is going to have to be made. It actually looks incredibly well on XRP's, you can see on XRP's downtrend here. As we fill this in, a decision will at some point have to be made, and hopefully we start to branch upwards. That's truly what I'm expecting to see happen here as we start to get squeezed, that a decision is going to have to be made, and typically it's in favor of a bull run. These bull flag formations have a bullish bias when it comes to like textbook. When you look at the textbook analytics, it's typically in reference to a breakout. Now, obviously, like I said before, I sound like a broken record, but you can capitalize off movement up to moving average here, which at some point it is going to scale up to. But before that, I would also expect to see Oh, sorry. After that, I would also expect to see a continued breakout like this. Who knows when it's going to come? I think it's going to be sooner rather than later here. But within XRP, you can, as a more aggressive trader, capitalize off the possible rally up to major resistance up here. But beyond that, I would also expect that once we can confirm breach above this resistance, we continue that breakout as we've done historically. Now we're on the fifth bull flag. The fifth breakout is what we're looking for right now within XRP. So I would just prepare yourself for that. But moving forward onto Solana, Solana looks really good. I mean, for those that, want to trade around on this and wanted me to start doing the technical analysis, I'm glad you did, because it looks really nice and it looks ready to see that break. You can see right here, price range. If we take bottom to top, we were up at one point about 26% from retesting the bottom. However, you can see we have been scaling lower, but the entire cryptocurrency market has been doing so, but we've managed to lower ourselves down to 51, 52 on the relative strength indicator, heading up higher, retesting major resistance up here. I am a firm believer, hopefully, when the time comes, if we can confirm closure above this resistance, that's that opportunity to buy in and expect to see a breakout here. That's what I'm personally waiting for here. We have a beautiful uptrend, the lower high, lower low pattern here, filling this gap in quite nicely here. At some point or another, we need to breach this resistance. This resistance right here is key, and that was what we were waiting for. And the fact that we broke through it is a huge sign in the positive direction here. We haven't been able to break through this in quite some time. You can see since the start of tracking this back in the late December here, we've been using this downtrend as a means of momentum to kind of track where the resistance needs to be broken in order to start to scale up higher here. And you can see today is now day 2 of trying to break through that. The unfortunate part and the goal was that we could break through it earlier here while we use the uptrend as a means of support. Problem now is we've broken below it, which means all this momentum that we've built up as a means of support has now finally reversed, and it's now acting as a bit of resistance here, which means it's a bit problematic. We need to wait for us to break through this resistance, and then hopefully we can scale the markets up, which we're much closer than we were a couple of days ago, and hopefully we can get that sign this week. That would be the best scenario here as we break through this resistance and this price ceiling here, and then we can buy in and long to the upside. So we're right there. We've had all this consolidation back to the upside here, which is great, but we're rating right here. We need this to break. If we could break through this support or this resistance and get back above it, it will be used as a support, and we will head right back up to about 120, which is very exciting, and we'll be able to take advantage of that with a long position here. So keep your eyes peeled on Solana. The other cryptocurrencies look okay too, battling a lot of resistance here. Ethereum's battling resistance right now, but the goal is hopefully to break through that. Moving forward from there, we then have Bitcoin here, which consolidated down to support here, but we're trying to break through this as well and head up. Hopefully we can rebound upwards or at least consolidate. But I think we've fallen enough for the rest of the crypto market, and it's now time to start to see us head back to the upside. The consolidation period, I believe, is over, and we'll see what happens with the S&P. I mean, there's a good chance we're just going to continue to head upwards, which is nuts, but we're ready to do so. But with that being said, guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button. Huge shout out to Burn for sponsoring today's episode, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.